Hi guys. So today we're going to be starting our op art project based on our plans from yesterday. So your plans from yesterday should look something like this, right? So I found two examples of op art that I liked and I did a sketch of kind of what I want to do for my project. So what I'm thinking is I want to put these curved lines underneath, right? And then I'm going to put these kind of bands of circles on top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start in a new document, right? I'm not doing it on top of my sketch. My sketch is quick and maybe a little bit messy, not perfect. I want to start fresh on a new page. All right, so I'm opening up Paint 3D. Again, it's this blue square with the rainbow drop. New. Okay, I'm going to adjust my canvas size because I'd like to keep it square for this, the project that I'm doing. Yours might be square or maybe not, depending on your design. All right, so I'm going to go back to brushes here. Oh, I can't move this. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is go back to my my complementary colors that I picked out. And let's see. Okay, so you should have found some complementary colors here, right? So on this wheel, you know, you move it around and it gives you the complementary of whichever color you pick. All right, I like these. So if you notice, when you pick colors, they have these codes underneath. This is a universal color code that you can put into any digital program. So if you're doing this project on the computer, this is really useful, right? So in my colors, right, this top section is colors that are chosen by Paint 3D, and this bottom section is where you can save your own colors. So this section might be empty in yours. I've used it so it's full, but either way you can click on these squares and change the colors. I'm going to double click on this one and change it to this. So in this bottom space under hex, I'm going to write E980BD. And just a tip, if there's anything that looks like an O or a 0, it's a 0. No O's in these to prevent confusion, right? So, right, this gives me exactly the same color. Click OK, now it's in my saved colors. Now I'm going to do this one, 80E9AC. And now I've got that color. All right, now I'm ready to go. So I'm going to start by using this paint bucket, the fill tool, to fill in the background with one of my colors. Doesn't really matter which one, but this will give me a nice canvas to work on. And then I'm going to switch to that other color and go back to my marker. So, so the first thing I wanted to do was those curved lines coming out from the center. So you have two basic tools or techniques that you can use here. You can hand draw the way you would in fresh paint using the marker. And I'm going to show you that first, and then I'm going to show you how to use the 2D shapes as well. All right, so I think this part will be easier to just draw it. Although, if you're a perfectionist, you might want to use the 2D shapes instead to get a really perfect line. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm not drawing every line. I'm laying out my composition, right? So I want to get everything kind of in the right place. And then as I continue my drawing, I will add more, right? So I'm going to make these lines closer together for my final. But right now, I just want to, kind of spread them out and make sure everything is kind of in the right place before I start adding tiny details like all these little lines, right? So next, I'm going to go to my 2D shapes, right? So if you prefer to use, there's a curved line here that, right? So once you put it down, you can change the color. I can change it to my pink, and I can adjust my curve. And then once it's right, I can use this stamp button and copy it. Right, that creates a copy of exactly the same curve. I'll then have, for the curves, you have to adjust them. If you're kind of pivoting around, there's no way to turn it, but, right, so that's the curve. I also have all of these other shapes, right? So I've got a straight line, I've got 3 different curves. These curves, it's just they have more points, right? So the first curve had one flex point, this one has 2, and the other one has 3. And then I have all these shapes. So I'm going to use the circle, get some nice perfect circles. Right, so I can make my circle. And with the shapes, you have the additional option of fill. I don't need fill for my particular design, but you might need fill, in which you could make it a solid shape, or you could put a different color inside your shape, right? Whatever it is. But I want to keep it without fill, so I'm going to switch it from fill solid to fill none. You can also adjust the thickness of that line. Right. And again, I'm going to stamp it. That makes a copy, and then I'm going to adjust this larger. Right, stamp it. Actually, I want to make this a little bit thicker than the last one, right? Because as things get further away, they get smaller, and as they get closer to you, they get bigger. So I'm going to make my rings progressively larger. And I'm going to stamp it, adjust my thickness again, adjust my size. Right, and now this is a pretty good start. So this is about where I'd like you to be at the end of this class. Having a basic kind of structure of your project, and then we're going to go in tomorrow or next class and get some of the smaller details and flesh out all those narrow spaces and things. All right, thank you so much.